Hi, Natalie here. Today I want to talk about becoming conscious of your thoughts. So, what are unconscious thoughts? Unconscious thoughts are linked to our beliefs, and they are deep down thoughts that we're not even aware are going on, but they do impact our choices. They impact who we are and how we behave. They're going on in the background, and they're often linked to things people have said to us, things that we have learnt as a child or as a young person, and they inform a lot. They're often the thing that makes us suddenly go from being in a great mood to being in not such a great mood because someone said or did something, and it triggered that unconscious thought, which then triggered our feelings. What does it mean to become conscious of your thoughts? What it means in terms of how it will impact you is that you will gain more power in your life to impact who and how you are and how things affect you. Here's an example that parents might understand, kids might as well, and maybe it will give you both a different perspective. Sometimes when a parent will ask a child to do something, the child responds with, later, or I don't want to. And the parent's unconscious thought might be, my child doesn't respect me. My child doesn't want to help me. They don't care about me. There might be a whole lot of those kinds of unconscious thoughts going on. That then leads to a feeling of hurt and perhaps anger, which then comes out as getting really grumpy at the child. Now, the child might be thinking, I just want to finish this game, but they don't know how to express that. As a parent, it's our job to teach them how to express their wants and needs and desires, and that they are committing to doing something. But it can be very easy for kids to then end up with the unconscious thought that they're lazy, because especially if the parent, when they're going off their brain because they're frustrated, says something like, you're just so lazy, then the kid can end up taking on that unconscious thought. So this is what I mean by unconscious thoughts can impact our lives. What does it mean to be conscious of your thoughts? What it means is to be aware when something happens, where your mood suddenly changes and you don't really know why, but becoming aware that it's happened. So instead of immediately linking into those unconscious thoughts, we're trying to nip that in the bud and allow ourselves to choose thoughts that we like better. Why would I want to become conscious of my thoughts? When we let our unconscious thoughts rule us, we don't have control over what's happening. We never have control over what's happening. So someone might say something to us or do something, and our unconscious thought clicks in and jumps in and says a whole lot of stuff to us, and we react to that instead of to what's actually happening. If we are aware of our unconscious thoughts, yes, it will come up, but we can go, no, I don't agree with that, brain. I don't agree that that's reality. So I'm going to step back from that. This is the thought I actually prefer to have in this situation, and so this is how I'm going to react. I'm going to react with this new thought. It allows us to be more conscious of how we are responding in situations. It helps us be less reactive, helps us take a breath before we do anything, and it can help us avoid saying things that we wish we hadn't said. So you won't have that problem anymore. So what are the steps to getting to know your unconscious thoughts? The things that have really helped me is paying attention to my feelings, paying attention to what is going on in my feelings. So if I am aware that I've suddenly had a change in my feelings, then I know that an unconscious thought has stepped up. An unconscious thought has said something, my brain has sent me a message. And these days what I do is I will stop what I'm doing, or I even stop a conversation and say, I need to just give me a moment, and I will think about what was the thought just before that changed? Like, what was happening just before it, and then what was the thought that was going on in me that created that change in feeling? And this has really helped me to become much more aware of where my unconscious thoughts are, what they are, and how they lay within me. Now, what to do with them once you know or can recognize your unconscious thoughts. The first thing to do is write them down or record them somewhere and become aware of it. So this isn't going to be something that you have to do forever. There might be times where you have to pick up that pen and do it again. There will be times where you don't necessarily have to do the writing it down, but to begin with, it's a very important step. So once you have written it down, the first step is to ask, is this helpful? Is it helping me? Is it making me feel good? Is it keeping me safe? Maybe it is keeping you safe, so it is helpful. Maybe it's actually putting you in danger. Maybe it's making things worse. Maybe it's making you react in ways that mean people behave to you in the way you don't want them to behave. So becoming aware of them so you can ask, is it helpful, is the first step. The other thing about it is that unconscious thoughts are often repetitive thoughts. They're thoughts that have gone through your mind a lot of times. And so it takes a lot of time to untrain yourself to have those thoughts. And they come out in response to patterns in behavior. They come out in response to patterns of conversation, of relationships. And so becoming aware of them means that you can start changing those relationships and changing your relationship with yourself. There are a lot of other questions to ask when it comes to your unconscious thoughts and helping you interrogate them. Please feel free to click the link in my bio. You can book a free session where we can go through this stuff a lot more. And I would love to speak to you soon.